Hello, Meoni here, and welcome back to another NPC recreation video, continuing our look at raid bosses in 14. We did the previous Arcadion for the light heavyweight. We recreated all of the characters from that, and now we're going to recreate the ones from cruiserweight. So the first one is Dancing Green in his normal form, and I think this is a pretty good representation, as close as we could probably get. So let's go straight into character creator using Fantasia and have a look at how we got to this point. Alright, for Dancing Green then, we're looking at the tallest bun we can possibly make. And then I believe that face 4 is probably the closest to the original model. I think it is the same one. Thankfully, there doesn't appear to be a use of a custom face. Sometimes they make faces that we physically can't recreate in this game. For his skin color, I've kind of hazarded a guess at RGB 1268371, which if we were to go down this list and then across, you would work out is about 16 and then 3 across. That's kind of where I am at the moment. It seems to be the right shade. I could be wrong. In terms of the hair color then and the hairstyle, so the hairstyle is this one, which is one of the default ones, which is 3 rows down on the 4th column. I think that's exactly the one. And with the hair color, obviously you're going to be using highlights, but realistically the highlight color is not a color we can access in the game. So the base color is obviously this last row, and then it should be 4 inwards, which is this 158185101, which is 4 in on the last row. But the highlight color, I'm pretty sure they're using a neon green highlight color. Because we just don't have access to that. It's almost like it would be on another row just below this. So hopefully in the future they can give us neon hairstyles. But this is probably as close as I could probably get in terms of colors. I mean, if we go into an environment that, you know, isn't this and we change the time of day, you'll see that it's still pretty bright. It is still pretty bright. So then we've got obviously our jaw type, which we've gone for type 2. I don't think he has any other kind of jaw than that. It's kind of a little bit rigid, a little bit pointed, but not fully. Eye shape, we've hazarded a guess at number 4, and then large irises with this color. It was really hard to see past the glasses, I'll be perfectly honest. So I've just gone for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down, and then 3 inwards, because it's got that kind of like hazily kind of brown, but yellowy. Then for the eyebrows, those are easily type 3. The rest of them just don't match properly. The nose, definitely type 2 there. And we've got mouth type 3. Lip color was a bit of a hazard of a guess as well. Kind of a little bit rosy, but we've gone for a light one anyway, so you could probably do without. An ear shape, obviously number 4 at maximum length. For facial features, obviously something to extend the, you know, eyelashes on the bottom. I think that's key, to add some definition, and also to the eyebrows. As for anything else, there's no facial hair as far as I can tell, and there are no like sideburny bits, so I left those off. For tattoos, I went for number 1, just simply so that we could add a little bit more black around the eyes, instead of obviously having eyeshadow features as well. And for face paint, we went for that number 3. Is this number 3? The 3rd option, but the 4th along from basic. From nothing, mostly because I think the character has deliberately dark shadows around their eyes. And then obviously face paint, we went for a dark color because we're going for that eyeshadowy look. In terms of voice, I have no idea, and that's as close as I could get personally. Maybe you could get closer, but let's go into the game and look at the actual outfit for this guy. So let's go to the Glamour dresser and I'll show you what I've come up with. So I think I saved it here. Yeah, so this is the free spirit attire for the most part, which I believe is what Dancing Green wears, which includes the free spirits jacket, the ring bands, the cropped slops, and also the Valentio and Emissary boots. So we're going to put those on and then look at the dyes. Alright, so that's pretty much what we can get as close to in terms of the armor pieces. Things to note then here with the free spirit attire, Unfortunately, it would appear that Dancing Green's actual model, if you look at the cutscenes, is using a very different or custom version of this same top. The reason I think that is because we can dye the first dye palette metallic purple, but the second palette only affects this tassel, whereas on Dancing Green, this kind of like apple green that we've used here for the second palette is applying to the entire undershirt. So not only have they got a better dyed version than what we've got, but it's completely different. It's completely different. And then these are the Valentine Emissary boots, which we've actually made those metallic silver as the primary dye and then pastel purple as the secondary. And the reason for that is, if we look really close, it was a good way of getting that sort of purple heart shape as well, which if you look very closely at the cutscene where they introduced Dancing Green, you can clearly see this, which is what gave this away for me personally. And then of course the finishing touch is to actually get yourself the groovy glasses, right? The groovy glasses are what's going to be the finishing thing for this, and that obviously drops in your 8th fight or obviously in Cruiserweight 4, or your 8th fight in the Arcadian. But quite honestly, it's interesting to see the different variations of gear and how they're basically changing it to suit cutscenes and their own needs. I do think that the Free Spirit top would benefit from having the dye palettes change to how they work on the NPC. It's strange to me, isn't it? It's really strange that they have that for NPCs. Instead of making just a completely new custom top, they did the Free Spirit top and then just changed the way it changes color to obviously highlight Dancing Green's love of apple green, presumably. But regardless of that, I think we've done a decent job. And of course, the groovy glasses are very much needed to kind of tick off that box. It's also really cool to get the groovy glasses from that raid series, so we can remake an NPC from the actual raid series. It's cool to get pieces of Glamour from raids. It's it's not like something I expected them to do. I thought there was going to be another minion or something, but I'm glad that they did. But yeah, if you wanted to make Dancing Green one of your retainers, or maybe just use this as your own Fantasia, you totally could do, and hopefully that helped make that possible. But much love. Let me know what you would change if I've got anything wrong, and if you've got any ideas of alternatives for that top, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.